In the last 15 games, the Portland Trail Blazers have quietly become one of the most feared teams in the entire league. If I told you this last year, you'd probably be like, what the hell? Aren't they supposed to be tanking? Well, yeah, they are, kind of, but not anymore. Thanks to the duo of Deni, Turbo, Avdija, and Toumani buckets, Camara. Toumani, too many, whatever, how you say it, Camara. Well, I'm on camera right now, and I'm saying this right here. Deni, Avdija, and Toumani Camara are literally a MJ and Scottie Pippen lookalike in the NBA right now. They're the best duo in the league that you can compare to MJ and Scottie. And I'm not tripping right here. When you think of MJ and Scottie Pippen, think about elite wings. MJ was the slasher, Pippen was the lockdown defender who could guard just about anybody. And in a way, that's exactly what we have with these two in Portland. You'll have Deni Avdija, fastest and slashiest wing in the entire NBA. Put him in the transition, best in the league. Pair him with Toumani Camara, who's like a shadow on defense. It's the kind of duo that can change the game.
He said, as he gets the tip there, he's always felt like he was a player in the shadows of the other main players. And I feel like that's what he is. He is the shadow. He's a shadow against every player he plays against. They cannot get, look at this, they can't get away from him. Put him in a box too. Put him in a box, he's letting them go. Because everywhere they go, he's there, and when they try to run away from him, it's hard to get away in a legal manner, even with the help of a teammate screening, because he's right there on you.
And then he said, they've gotten really close off the court as well. Both Avdija and Camara are really good young players that I think are discovering things about themselves at this time that they hadn't done before, Chauncey Billups told reporters. And Deni has discovered that when you put the ball in his hands, he can turbo into the paint on almost anybody in the entire league. I don't care if you put prime MJ on Deni, he's getting in the damn paint. He had an off-ball role with the Wizards under guys like Westbrook as a rookie, then Bradley Beal, even last season when under Kuzma and Poole, and yet still dropped 43 points in a game last season. I mean, obviously Kuzma was at that game, but with more on-ball play comes more scoring. A lot of people were surprised after Deni started off the season not being so adjusted to his roles, like handing a Game Boy to a kid who's never played it. He's never played with a Game Boy in his life. He's always wanted it, and he sees his friends always playing with it, but now it's in his hands. He finds his flow, and he becomes a damn gamer. But that gameplay was always in him. Deni has always been this great. It's just been a long time in the waiting to put the controller in his damn hands. Mr. Big Shot, Chauncey Billups, said Deni's increased familiarity with this on-ball role that he's gotten is directly because his new teammates have helped him reach another gear. And considering Deni did get them all Game Boys, Mr. Turbo deserves that extra gear. Over his last 15 games, Deni has been on fire, averaging 16.7 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 3.9 assists on 47.6% shooting from the field. That's a kind of offensive output that's hard to ignore. I don't care if you discredit him because he's Jewish or Israeli. If you know basketball and you want to talk about real versatility, then he's not only scoring on fast breaks, but also playing efficient damn basketball in half-court sets. And yeah, you're seeing the flashes of Michael Jordan's transition game. He runs the floor with speed. That's why they call him Turbo. Blazers analyst Danny Meringue kind of reminds me of lemon meringue pie. He had this tweet that had me going crazy. He said, I truly do not understand the physics science behind it, but Deni Avdija gets like 18% faster high than you think he can be when he has the ball in his hands. Deni's top track speed this year is 19 miles per hour. Shaedon Sharp's top speed this year is 19.2 miles per hour. A reminder that Deni Avdija is 6'9 and 245 pounds. Shaedon Sharp is 6'5 and 210 pounds. So when you have a guy like Deni Avdija finding lanes and finishing with ease on a team like Portland that hasn't been doing that efficiently in a long time, and he's doing this at a true shooting percentage of 60.8 over the last 15 games. Number 8 right here is damn efficient, so don't tell me he's not. The hard work he's put on the shooting as a big forward since his years in Maccabi, which I in fact watched. The man does not stop working, and nobody talks about his work ethic. And I made videos over 10 minutes long and just Deni's work ethic itself. And then with this workaholic of a guy, watch any interview of Deni. He's selfless.
And then that's about it. But I couldn't do it without my teammates. You know what I'm saying? They passed me the ball. We shared it. So, you know, I got to shout out to them. For sure.
Great job tonight.
All right, Rip City, bye.
That is humility at its finest.
Who has a crazy off arm that is like super appreciated is Deni Avdija.
Deni Avdija off a high screen. Leads inside, gains an advantage. Deni will take it immediately, going right to the rack.
Oh, good drive. Through the contact.
I saw like a tape of it the other day.
This dude put me in a body bag.
Yes, that was Duncan Robinson talking about your crazy off arm and complimenting you on putting him in a body bag. What does it feel like to hear that respect from guys around the league?
It's definitely nice when like people acknowledge your game and stuff that you do well. That's about it. I'm just, I'm happy that people acknowledge your game and like things you do good, and like maybe some guys even implemented it. So, it's exciting.
We always talk about your speed, but how much do you use your strength?
I use my strength pretty much, sometimes too much. I feel like sometimes I gotta slow down and be more like maneuver a little bit better. But usually I like seeking into contact, and it's part of my game now. It's just now the next step is like the counter and know when guys are expecting it and be better like reading. So
He doesn't take the credit for all the work he puts in to win every single ball game. He compliments his coaches and his teammates, and he has the perfect sidekick who's almost the same in that regard with Toumani Camara. And Camara's bringing that Scottie Pippen energy, especially defensively. With his 6'8", 220 pounds frame and 7'5" wingspan, this man can guard 1 through 5. He's averaging 1.7 steals and 0.9 blocks per game in that 15-game span. I mean, Portland's defense has been locked the fuck in, jumping from 24th in defensive rating to 5th in the last 15 games. And guess who's anchoring that defense? Toumani Camara. Put the camera on him. He's been tasked with everything from switching to guards to battling big men in the paint, and he's thriving. He's locked down from LeBron to Embiid to Wardell Stephen Curry to Giannis Antetokounmpo to Damian Lillard to any player in the NBA you can name. He's locked him down. You may ask, wow, there's a lot of nice info. I might be going a little faster. I might be going a little turbo on this information, but these two guys are on the Portland damn Trailblazers. Any team would love these guys. One from Phoenix, who he recently said he'd be quite comfortable if he stayed there in Phoenix. Steal the Dame trade, second round you never expect to be there. And then you have one guy in this duo from Washington who said he'd be a Wizard for life in his past season's interview. And there was a post-game interview of the damn season, like, Deni would have been a Wizard for life. He was loyal. And then they traded him on a random day while he was sleeping. A Woj came. I still remember. I was literally on the couch for an hour. Like, what the fuck? After a hard-working day in the offseason. Now, Drew Cronin was reportedly adamant in getting Toumani. And all those trade shenanigans he pulled off with Dame, he wanted Toumani Camara, and you could see why now. And Mike Schmidt's being adamant about Deni since his rookie season, being an analyst, calling him the steal of the draft. And now he even said that Deni in 5 years would be the best player in the draft. And 5 years later, Mike Schmidt is the guy who pushes for Deni to become a Blazer as the Blazers' assistant GM. And Mike is building up all his previous guys to surround Deni, and that just deserves a video in itself. And I probably will make a video about it. Mike's a great guy. I met him. He's amazing, both on and off the court. And I probably will make a video about it. But let's go back to Portland. When you look at their team in the Trailblazers, who were expected to be a tanking team before the Deni trade, now look at their recent performance. The Blazers are 10-5 in their last 15 games. Their defense is 5th in the league, and their offense is clicking at 17th in an offensive rating, when last season they were second worst in the league offensively. But let's be real. If this team was in the East, they'd be a top 6 seed. But unfortunately, they're in the wild, wild West. At 23-33, they're 13th in the West. Only one game behind the Spurs, who recently lost Wembanyama, praise out to him. But that's not as bad as it seems. Especially when you remember that after trading Damian Lillard, the expectation was that the Blazers would be a lottery team. Look at where we are now. We can even get a guy like Ben Surratt or Danny Wolf to surround Deni and Mike Schmitz and take them to the damn promised land. Playing hopes this year, maybe even playoff hopes next year, but it is the title of the video, so let's get back to the MJ and Scottie Pippen comparison. This isn't a one-off. When you talk about the duo of the future, you've got to mention how Deni's quickness in transition mirrors MJ's explosive fast breaks. You add in Camara's elite defense. It's the perfect mix of scoring and stopping. And this is just the beginning. Once Grant's gone and these guys are your starting forwards every single night, they might be the most feared wing duo in the entire league. I mean, who wants to be guarded by a guy who can lock you down every single fucking play and can do it to any player at any position in the entire NBA? And who wants to guard a guy who could foul bait and fake even LeBron James out in the paint? They could steal the ball from your guard or big, and then finish on your guard or big, too. And MJ and Scottie Pippen, with epitome of fear, and I'm not saying a 15-game stretch can compare to 6 damn championship rings. But let's think about their impact. Toumani Camara's athleticism and defensive prowess are the perfect cherry on top compliment to Deni's scoring and versatility. It's the same way MJ's offense paired with Scottie Pippen's defense that made them unstoppable. Imagine you put these guys on a winning basketball team, any playoff team. They got Deni and Toumani for free, they'd instantly win the chip. And that's why the Blazers couldn't make any moves during the deadline. Grant's contract wasn't wanted by anyone. We know that. And all they heard was deals for Toumani and Deni. From almost every single playoff team. I can't leak much more, but you gotta be stupid not to see these two guys are more than just their stats. The Blazers see it, and the rest of the entire NBA sees it too. Not only are they generational players, and are still selfless about it, and willing to do anything their team needs to win. These two are already giving Portland a chance to compete against teams much more experienced than them. There's no more words I can even say to convince you it's all there. I'm lost for damn words. And how lucky Portland is to have two guys more untradeable than Luka damn Doncic. This isn't just he's playing for a rebuilding team. Deni and Toumani have been legitimately good. Deni and Camara have been everything you want in a defender. Getting tired of reading over a script. Let me just bring the stats here. Toumani Camara averaging 7.1 rebounds per game along with 2.1 steals, 0.9 blocks in these last 15 games. And it's been great to watch. 10-5. 10-5. He's been the main defensive stopper for Portland. His versatility is elite, almost as elite as Deni. He's guarding all 5 positions, making plays all over the court. You know, when Deni was traded, I've always been a Deni fan across his entire career, but I wasn't expecting to be this big of a Blazers fan, this big of a Toumani damn Camara fan, and don't forget this. The Blazers are expected to be a lottery team. And here they are, 1 game behind the Spurs, as I just said before. But even more importantly, they've been competitive thanks to Deni, Avdija, and Toumani Camara. If the Blazers can stay healthy and keep them improving, I like to use the word damn a lot, but damn, they could be making some noise for years to come. And don't even get me started on Donovan Klingo. So it's a stacked Western Conference. It's hard to say exactly where they'll finish, but what we do know is that Deni, Avdija, and Toumani Bucket Camara are a serious baby MJ Scotty duo right there. This isn't just a potential duo. This is a future contender duo. And if Portland's rebuild continues with these two, so be it. I can continue talking about these two for hours. I can make a 30-minute video with every stat, every analyzation, and make something perfect. But I want you guys to interpret this by yourself. Check out the stats. Go on Reddit. Go on Twitter. Even Instagram. It's all up there. Shabbat is starting soon, and only had like an hour to make this, and I kind of rushed this. I literally just did first draft. I didn't even do any reruns. I just made a little script, freestyled a little bit, and just went right into it. If you enjoy this and you have any ideas for future videos, feel free to comment. I don't expect much people to even be here at this point, 10 minutes in. So Shabbat Shalom.